The story behind it.
Okay.
So I had like $500 worth of Nike gear from the Ravens.
Right.
And before they fired me, I thought I'd spend the money. Well, gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Spend that extra allotment too.
Exactly. I know. More money to spare. You know,
Yeah.
but that's a whole true story.
No,
I had like $500. My wife's like, "You got like $500. You got to spend your Nike money." I looked on there. I think everything else was sold out other than the Vanilla Ice outfit. I said, "Okay, I'll go with the Vanilla Ice outfit here."
That explosion of raucous laughter you heard at the end was producer Pete Demolitis as we were talking to Todd Monken about his...
That's how Pete laughs. You want some more sloppy joes?
Todd Monken was hilarious, and for as entertaining as he was during the 15 minutes or so we talked to him at the desk, that scene at the end where we were just off to the side of the desk and he was basically holding court, like, he loves that.
Yeah.
He was talking to us for another 10 or 15 minutes, and he was better there. And the Browns camera crew captured some of it. That's one thing I noticed this year more than ever with the coaches and a lot of the prospects.
Yes,
when
totally,
they come,
Mike.
they don't have an entourage, but they've got a camera crew.
Right. Yeah, agreed, right? I felt like every prospect that we kind of looked at that was kind of deemed as third round or above, when they came to the set, there was two people there from their school with the camera, right, and documenting everything they do. And you're right, with the teams, that's definitely become more and more popular now, where it's like 32 for 32. They all got somebody going around documenting what's going on. And, yeah, that was cool. They got to do that in the Browns with Todd Monken, who I hope everybody realizes, too. I know people, there's another great example of, we're looking for, young offensive genius guys. Well, old offensive genius guy can be pretty cool and fun and knows how to relate to players too. Let's not forget that. Todd Monken's got a little spunk, a little personality to him. There's an edge to him, and I think that's why he's been successful in the NFL, and I think that's ultimately one of the big reasons he gets hired by the Cleveland Browns when it's all said and done there.
And it's not a negative edge. It's not a salty edge. It's, again, there's a presence that a coach needs to have.
Yeah.
And there's an ability to communicate. And he has that gift of talking, connecting, communicating in an entertaining way, telling stories, drawing you in, having, like, right away, he's got a great story as to why he was dressed like Vanilla Ice, and it was hilarious. And then he drops the Vanilla Ice thing, and it was just perfect moment, and it gives us a chance to get to know them and to just get a feel for who's got that quality. And I'm reluctant to list the ones who did, because then by admission and implication, I could be flagging those who didn't. But for the most part, they do. I was impressed with him. I was impressed with Jeff Hafley, the new coach of the Miami Dolphins. And I think I'm extra impressed when a traditionally dysfunctional team makes a good hire, because I didn't think they'd be able to pull it off.
Right.
The fact that the Browns, who by all indications were zeroing in on promoting Jim Schwartz from defensive coordinator. That was the vibe in league circles.
No question.
Schwartz clearly thought that he was getting that job, and then all of a sudden they do the hard pivot to Monken. Now I know why. And there's another reality, too. Press conference demeanor can be different from interview or away from the microphones demeanor.
Totally.
And you could watch Todd Monken's introductory press conference and not get the same vibe as you got watching him with us, or if you'd been there for all of the off-to-the-side conversation. It creates a very, very different total impression of a coach. And now, the Browns have many other factors in the organization that could weigh down the ability to succeed, starting with the guy who holds the equity in the team. But they got it right with their latest head coaching hire. The question is, will they get it right on the field, and will he eventually be the next scapegoat for an owner who I think likes to keep his his spoon a little too deep in the stew.
I don't disagree with that there, right? There's been some things there in Cleveland that we certainly have questioned, whether they're heavy on analytics, the ownership, all of that. Hey, the way this hire went down here for the head coach, yes. I think everybody in football thought Jim Schwartz had the inside track to getting that one. But, yeah, there's something about Todd Monken. There definitely is. And that's why you can't judge it just by the look and by the press conference. You can't do that. We've seen that. That's already been proven, wrong. You can't. It's not always true, the true picture, to your point of what you get in the press conference. I mean, Bill Belichick, he's got a lot more personality than we're on to Cincinnati. Right. He's definitely that. I could tell you for years, my buddy Kyle Shanahan out in San Francisco, I think you saw a totally different person with him at press conferences at times because he didn't want to say anything and he, just wants to make sure he says the right thing and doesn't give too much information. And is that the real personality of him? No, not at all. And I think that's the case with a lot of the coaches. They get up there, they kind of just try to get in the straight and narrow. And, yeah, people would be shocked if they saw these coaches behind the scenes, the personalities they have, the language they like to use, right? There's a reason they're a head coach because there's an energy and, like, to your point, energy, aura, ability to command people, be entertaining, and people want to listen to you and talk to you when you talk, and that's what a great head coach usually has.
And some people may wonder, why can't a coach just go to the press conference and be that same person? There's an obsession with protecting the team. You don't want to say anything that's going to be perceived directly or indirectly as throwing anyone under the bus, as introducing a subject that could send the locker room off kilter a little bit. And that desire to protect the team sometimes will cause a coach, and I think Belichick is the prime example of this, to just shut down and say nothing because he wants there to be zero risk of anything being said at the press conference that could in any way undermine the best interests of the team, of the players, and create issues with his primary job. His primary job is not talking to the media. It's a key part of it, and your ability to communicate in that setting could be crucial. We've seen guys talk their way out of jobs with not great press conferences. Gerard Mayo, in part, set the stage, I think, for one and done, 3-14 record or 4-13, whatever it was. Bad. Let's just go with bad. That didn't help. But as that season, 2024, was unfolding and there were different press conference performances, it's like, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. And you had Aaron Glenn, the whole my superpower is defensive play calling. I mean, he got dragged all over the place for that. And for good reason. Yeah. He wasn't the play caller last year until he fired Steve Wilkes.
Yes, right. Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's what sometimes you say things like that, and your personality gets used against you. That's my superpower. Hey, cool, that is. But, yes, that opens it up now for, well, why the hell wouldn't you have used your superpower last year? Superman, wait, you didn't want to fly last year? Superman, you're not flying? You're not flying, Superman?
You can fly.
Oh, but Superman, that's your superpower. Fly. Like, go and take off. I mean, yes. So, that's one of my pet peeves right there when coaches don't call, the defense, offense, whatever they were brought to town to do. But yeah, all these are reasons why coaches can be a little guarded in the press conference at times.
Faster than a speeding bullet when I feel like it. I'll let somebody else do it. I'm not in the mood today to be faster than a speeding bullet or to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
No, me neither.
Whatever else was at the outset of the Superman TV show. What was it? Faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. I think there's more.
Yeah, there is. There definitely is. I don't know it. Something like that, right? That's
more powerful than a locomotive.
That's more your generation there. Like, I kind of know it, right? But I got to hear it again to kind of spark the memory in my brain there. It's a little before my time there, that one.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.